Hello, everybody. So we are going to be taking a look at what new energy is coming in for you. This can definitely be in your love life space. I'm sure a ton of the messages that come through are going to be about love, but I'm leaving it open for anything really that Spirit wants to bring through. So the reason why I thought that this would be a fun topic to do is because Pepper, my dog, and I travel. We don't get to our mailbox super often, like every few months or so. So this last time that we went, there were a bunch of new decks waiting for me that I had ordered. It was like Christmas, but better. It was Deck Christmas. Deckmas. It was Deckmas. Okay, awesome. I am 100% sure that I am not the first person to have coined that phrase, but I feel thrilled about it anyway. So yeah, let's take a moment and appreciate Deckmas. That was fun. Okay, so at any rate, all of the decks that I'm going to use in the reading today, all of the oracles, all of the tarot decks, they are 100% new decks. I've played around with them. I've gotten to know them. I've shuffled. I've pulled little stuff for myself just to kind of get used to them. But no deck used in the reading today has ever been used in a reading before. They were all brand new. So I was like, all right, well, this would be a perfect opportunity to look at new energies that are coming in. So there are going to be 3 piles. These are cards from one of the new decks. If you want to see a rundown of the decks, by the way, the timestamp will be in the description box below. And yeah, so this is 3 different ladies that you have to choose from. One is Temperance. It says peace and patience, tranquility, moderation creates harmony. Then we have the Teacher, mentor, wise educator, divine guidance, higher self. And then we have Inner calling, an internal shift, awakening to a greater sense of purpose. So yes, check in with your intuition, see which of these cards you are drawn to, which of the piles you are drawn to. It is perfectly okay to be drawn to more than one, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Temperance card, then you have arrived at your pile. And I will tell you that already, before a card even hits the board, I am already channeling just a feeling of a reward. Yeah, a reward that's been a long time coming. I think that a new energy that's coming in for you is a breakthrough, like feeling stuck, being in stuck energy for a while. And then something comes through that kind of breaks through that barrier. And it's not that I feel like you haven't made progress, but I feel like there's been steady progress up until maybe like a 7. And then it's been plateaued for a while. But I feel like the new energy that's coming in is like a leapfrog forward to like a 10. Yeah, so just like a sudden reward that's been a long time coming. That's the energy I'm picking up. So we got forgiveness, navigate forgiveness through compassion, self-healing. And then we got purposeful action, assertive, focused direction, overcoming obstacles. Yeah, that is what I feel like is going to be happening. That there are going to be, that there are barriers that have been presenting like a brick wall that you've been banging your head against for a while now. And all of a sudden, you're just going to get a different perspective and you're going to see that like, what? There's a gate right there. Let me just walk through that gate and you're going to step into this beautiful paradise of a garden. And yeah, you're just going to be like, okay, yes, this is what I've been trying to get to this entire time. Yeah, and I just heard from Spirit, I heard a very clear voice in my head that said, you've earned it. You've earned it. Why was I just talking about a brick wall? And then we get brick. Yeah, so what I'm getting from that, because this is future ideas and plans, strength, security, abundance, protecting or being protected, long-term developments, communication issues, self-built obstacles, self-isolation, and stubbornness. What I'm actually, those are great. Yeah, I'm sure if any of those resonated, definitely take that meaning. But what I'm really getting from this is the idea that like a stone can block the path you're trying to walk on, or you can use it as a stepping stone to cross a river. Like a brick can be part of that brick wall that you're banging your head against, or a brick can be something that you use, a building block, in order to build a household that is secure for you, to build a place of safety for you, or to build, they call businesses brick and mortar when they have a physical location. So yeah, a brick can either be part of an obstacle or it can be part of your future. It's all about the use. It's all about your reaction to it. Okay, rings, emotional wholeness, commitments and marriage, loyal actions, forming new bonds, unconditional love, coming into one's personal power. Yes, coming into one's personal power. That is absolutely, and I think that it has to do with this forgiveness. I think that it is less the traditional definition of forgiveness where someone has wronged you and you let that go, but the more overarching idea where you just let something go. It's without assigning blame. It's without any of that. And it's without the other person even having to know, person, organization, anything. Even, people can actually be angry at the universe or angry at the world or angry at society. But yeah, it's just the idea of letting it go. Just releasing it. It's not these rocks in your pocket anymore. It's not this brick on your chest, making it difficult for you to breathe anymore. You are now taking those things that someone tried to foist on you to weigh you down, and you are turning around and releasing them onto the ground where you are going to use them to build your future. Yes. Yes, Spirit. What else, Spirit? What else? Okay, I am awake. I am always tapped into the truth. And that card is number 9. So 9 may have significance for you. Might be a life path 9. I'm a life path 9. Oh, and I actually just realized that I'm an Enneagram. How do you pronounce that? Enneagram? Anyways, 4-wing 5, which adds up to 9. That's interesting. Don't know how I never made that connection before. Maybe because it involves mental math, which is, like, it would be kind to say that's not my strong suit. Okay. And I am original, and that is number 1. Come on. I am interesting and have a unique perspective. Yes, you are original and you are pile 1. You are pile 1. You are number 1. You are unique. You are original. You are precious and special. And I think that you are going to be letting a situation go that has made you feel like you are common. And that could not be further from the truth, pile 1. You are, if anything, way too good for this situation that you are letting go, that you are forgiving. And I kind of feel like the reason that you remained connected with this rings card to this situation for so long is because it echoed other situations of the past possibly from when you were too young to make your own decisions about what to walk away from and what to stay in. But I think that this situation, again, whether it's a romance, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's whatever, it echoed situations from the past that made you feel less than, that made you feel common, that made you feel unworthy of being celebrated or even unworthy of regard. And even though it felt so crappy to be made to feel that way, it also felt a little like home. And so, I think that that's what kept you hanging on for so long, honestly. But you're letting it go, man. You are moving forward with purposeful action. You are recognizing yourself as unique and original and above all, valuable. Yes. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for making me add that on. Because I think that honestly might be the most important one. And I think that's another thing that we can take from this rings card. I mean, rings are valuable. They are made of precious metals. They often include precious stones. And you are not like fake gold that's going to turn somebody's ring or ring finger green. You are the real deal, pile one. You are not cubic zirconia. You are an ethically sourced diamond. Yeah, you are a diamond. Again, ethically sourced. But yeah, you need to let situations go where people are treating you like you're cubic zirconia. And you're lucky to even have a place in the back warehouse. Are you kidding me? You deserve front and center placement in the display case. You're the best thing they've got going. And I think that treating you this way is a way to keep you around. You know, manipulators can often sense when people have these like ingrained patterns. Manipulators can sense the people who will let them play to those patterns and who will stick around for those patterns. And I think that is the only thing that you did wrong in this situation, pile one, is unintentionally come into a manipulator's orbit. And we all have done that. So yeah, you did nothing wrong in this situation, but you're taking control and rectifying it now. And oh my gosh, the blessings that are going to come through for you as a result of this. Yeah, I think that you have had a realization. I think you've had little realizations over the course of, I just heard years. Wow, that's a long time. I'm so sorry, pile one. I think that you've had little realizations. I think you've had moments where you've maybe even said to people like, yeah, I got to get out of this. I can't stand this much longer. Like, I don't deserve to be treated this way. But I think that it hit you on a cognitive level before. Like, I think that you have recently had or are going to have a realization that hits you to your core. Like a moment of pure clarity where you're like, you know what? It's not just that I can't do this anymore. It's that I'm actually not. And then you're going to walk away. Oh, and that's when you're going to discover that you are magic, pile one. Yeah, and here, I think that it's not even discover. I think it's rediscover. I think you are going to reconnect with that part of you that is magic. Because I think you've known that in the past. I think that there have even been times when you have even looked at yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, and said, how did I get here? What happened to that person that lit up a room when I walked in? What happened to the person that everybody said was like the life of the party? Yeah. You're going to find them again, pile one. You are. And that's happening soon. I feel like this has either recently happened or is right on the horizon. I do. Yeah. And it's interesting with this, I am awake. Okay. Because I feel like you are going to suddenly jerk awake, like from a nightmare. And it might even come with a physical gasp. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be one of those moments when you are like jerked from sleep and you are immediately awake. And going back to sleep at that point, that's not an option. Once you're in that waking state, that's not an option. Yeah, and I'm hearing a quote from that John Green novel, The Fault in Our Stars, that says, I fell in love like I fell asleep, slowly and then all at once. And I think that's the same way you're going to wake up, pile one. I think it's been happening slowly, but I think the instant epiphany moment of clarity is coming, or it just happened. Yeah, it might have just happened. This feels so strong and clear, and the proximity feels so close to me. Yeah, you're going to understand. You're going to re-understand how magic you are. This is going to be a very, I don't want to blow smoke and make you think that it's not going to be painful to leave this other situation behind. Like, I feel like you'll go through a normal grieving process, but I feel like at the same time, you're going to be going through this blossoming process as well, where you do start to remember how badass you are. And that, I think, is going to be really beautiful. I really do. I think it's going to be really, really beautiful. You are a magic original, pile one. You really are. Right, so that is what I am getting from the oracle cards. Let's dive into tarot. Spirit, tell me about the new energy coming in for pile one. Tell me about what's coming in for pile one, brand new. Am I holding this upside down? Nope. Yeah, I'm not. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, but that actually makes sense to me. The Nine of Wands reversed and the Four of Wands reversed, because, so I think that this was a situation that you had dreams of and aspirations of committing to, and you're going to let go of that idea. And I do think that there will be some kind of decision made. Maybe this person's going to call you. Maybe if it's a job, they're going to try to get you back or something. And so there could be a moment where a decision could be made, like, am I going to give this one last shot? I don't think you are, because I think that by that time you will have truly released the idea that this could ever be a long-term situation that serves you, that this could ever be a place where you are valued and allowed to thrive. I mean, you should be supported to thrive. But this was stifling. They wanted to hide your light so that you wouldn't expect too much. That's too many, Spirit. They denied your light, I feel like. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some gaslighting going on in this situation. That's not just a thing that can happen in relationships. That can happen in professional situations. Yes, the Tower. Come on, the Tower. Yes. And snakes, I also connect with the idea of strategy, of moving forward and making a plan, of waiting for the right moment to jump on something and then making the leap. And also, I mean, of course, snakes are very well known for leaving their old skin behind once they have outgrown it. Yeah, and I think that you are leaving this old skin behind, this old skin that at one point I think you thought was going to be the skin you were in for the rest of your life. And now you are realizing you have outgrown it. It is too tight. It is too constricting. It is holding you down. It is holding you back. It is stifling you like a brick on your chest. And it is time to get out of it. I feel like for a lot of you, you're already out of it, but very recently, like within the past couple of weeks. And maybe you're coming across this message because you're starting to doubt yourself. Don't, pile one. You made the right decision. You made the right call. And I think in your heart, you know that, but I think that grief might be getting to you. Yeah, the Chariot moving forward. It is time to move forward. The Chariot doesn't move backwards. Try to imagine those horses moving backwards and pushing the Chariot with their asses. Like, that doesn't work. No, the Chariot moves forward. Yeah, I do. I think that you are looking back maybe with a bit of rose-colored nostalgia, or maybe you're starting to feel scared if there was some sort of financial entanglement. And I don't feel like, okay, I feel like that's too many, but yeah, we're just going to take it. So I feel like you don't want to go back, but you're starting to, you know what? You might be a very tender-hearted person. Like, I'm an extremely tender-hearted person. And one thing that always starts to get me is but did I give them enough chances? Or was I too mean? Or, you know what? No. You gave them more than enough chances. You were not too mean. Standing up in a very Queen of Swordsy way and demanding to be treated as the royalty that you are, because that is the courtesy that you give to other people. And there's no reason why you should not expect it in return. That is never too mean. That is never too much. You know, when I just said the phrase too much, it makes me think that maybe that's something this person used to say to you, you're too much. You're too much sometimes. And I feel like that might have made you feel really ashamed. Too emotional, too loud, too excitable, too clingy, too whatever it was. You need too much. You want too much. Here's the thing, though. You were not too much. They were not enough. They were not enough, pile one. That is the honest truth of the situation. Look what's in the outcome position here, the Sun. Yeah, and I very much love that every card that is after the Tower card is a major arcana. Yeah, this was minor arcana bullshit, pile one. Yeah. You are destined for major arcana. You are 100% destined for major arcana. We've got the Tower. Feels terrible while you're in it, but look at the beauty that comes after. The Chariot moving forward. Look how gorgeous this card is with the purples and the blues. Purple and blue might be important colors to you, because they're really standing out to me on this card. Yeah, and I feel like I'm noticing how the chest here is almost washed out white. I feel like this person took all the color out of your heart. But look how deep the purple gets as it's coming out to the edge of the wings and up into the headspace. Your heart chakra is spreading out and is starting to bring you back to who you truly are. That's going to start with making a decision, though, with this headspace. And it's going to start with your hands, with doing something. It'll get to your heart. It'll get to your heart. It will. Look at these little birds that are on the bottom. Their chests are completely purple, deep purple, the way they're meant to be. So that could actually indicate as well that you should feel very proud, pile one, because you could be setting a good example for your kids or other people around you that are looking up to you. Yeah, and look at this Sun card, represented by a rooster. What did we get in the Oracle? Yeah, the other thing that makes me think kids is, I don't know if you can hear out my window. It's very hot where I am. My windows are down. And there are some very loud childrens in the neighborhood that are having a good time or an argument. I can't really tell. That's a thing about toddlers. It all kind of sounds like, oh, that's either the most fun they ever had or somebody's about to kill somebody. It kind of sounds the same. But at any rate, I think they're having a good time. I just saw them run by out the window. Yeah, they seem like they're having a good time. But at any rate, that's the other thing that makes me think that this might be like setting a good example for some little kids in your life about the way that you deserve to be treated and therefore the way that they deserve to be treated. And then I want to point out that here on the Sun card, represented by a rooster, what did we get in the Oracle cards? Waking up. Yeah, absolutely. The reward you get for waking up is the sun. Agreed by 9 out of 10 tarot card readers. I don't know if that's a real statistic. I'm going to stick with it. To be the happiest card in the deck, that is the reward, pile 1, that you get for waking up. Happiness. Pure, unfettered, beautiful, celebratory happiness. That is the reward that you get. So let's see what it was clarified by. The 6 of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I feel like if this is a romantic relationship, this represents the new energy that's going to come in for you. Somebody that is very much soulmate energy, somebody that is very stable for you. But I feel like because they came out as clarifiers, that person is sort of beside the point. This is about your journey. This is a reward. This is like a fun toy. This is like a cool thing that's coming up on the far horizon. But it's not the main point. The main point is that you are going to move forward. You are going to rediscover your magic. And with the sun being represented by this rooster, I think that you might be helping other people to wake up in the future. I think that you are going to sound the cock-a-doodle-doo that's going to help other people rise from this slumber that they have been in, where they don't understand their own worthiness. I think that you are going to do something in the future where maybe you've already started, where you are directly helping other people have an awakening to their own self-worth, the same way that I'm sure someone helped you, including Spirit. Yeah, let's get some clarifiers. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so with the King of Coins, which is Pentacles, coming in here with the two things that are in the reverse, which to me was representing letting them go, letting the idea of commitment to this old situation go, letting the idea of giving this old situation one last try, letting it go. King of Pentacles came in here, which was the clarifier to your outcome. So if this is a romantic situation, this could be indicating that you either let these things go because you came into contact with this person, and even if the relationship didn't start up yet, just their energy kind of gave you the hint to let you know there's something else better out there, or that this person was directly drawn into your orbit as a result of letting these things go. I mean, honestly, that could go either way, but I feel like the two things I'm kind of feeling like the two things happening in pretty close chronological proximity, actually, to tell you the truth. And yeah, I feel like they are probably gonna ease a little bit of the pain of this tower moment, I will say. Yeah, and look at this. When you let this idea of commitment to the old situation go and you start experiencing this tower moment, look at that. The connecting energy there is the Ace of Coins going on a brand new journey. And this is going to be a journey that ends in stability. It's the King of Coins, the King of Pentacles, who has made 2 appearances here. Your future is going to be stable. You are not going to have to wonder. You are not going to have to tap dance for this new person's attention. Why did we get the Queen of Coins? No, because you are going to be celebrated. You are going to know that you are the queen in this person's eyes. You are going to know that this is matched pair energy. Yeah, the Queen of Coins does not tap dance for people's attention. The Queen of Coins does not cast a little like fishing rod in the water, hoping that someone is going to bite. No, the Queen of Coins has people lined up wanting to curry her favor, but she only has eyes for the King of Coins, and the King of Coins only has eyes for her. And that's going to be this new situation. Yeah, 7. Okay, come on now. 7 of Wands. Yeah, this happiness is worth fighting for. I love. Yeah, so I actually didn't read the little captions here. So King of Coins, ultimate provider. Ace of Coins, a risky endeavor. Interesting. Oh, maybe risky endeavor. I wouldn't. Is it reversed? Oh, it was new beginnings. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't read that as reversed. I didn't really Oh, because I thought the hands were like patting something on the head, but they're supposed to be holding this dirt. Okay, that's really funny. Consummate hostess. But the 7 of Wands, my eyes were immediately drawn toward this, the yellow words here, worth fighting for. Yes, you are worth fighting for, pile 1. This sun energy, this happiness, this life where you help other people wake up to their own self-worth, that is worth fighting for. And I feel like you might be in a sort of stormy moment right now where it really feels like a fight, but it's worth it. It's worth fighting for. It really is. It's worth fighting for. Absolutely. Okay, so now we are going to grab some letters, numbers, and charms. See if we can get a little validation here. Okay, letters first. Spirit, give me the letters that are going to shed a little bit more light on this, please. Give me some letters that are going to shed a little bit of light on this situation. Either some specific validations, or some words, or some concepts, something that's going to let me know what pile 1 needs to hear. Okay. We've got Q. So yeah, questions. I mean, that always makes me think of questions. BS. I feel like the answers to your questions were always BS. Yeah, absolutely. U, S, 2 S's. We've got A, R, X. So yeah, for a lot of you, this is probably a romantic situation that you are leaving. And then that you are leaving because you recognize that your independence, your self-worth is worth more. Let's see. Okay, with sub, this could have been a person who was still kind of hung up on someone else. And they just always made you feel like a poor substitute. Okay, with sax, I will tell you, so you guys might have had a musical connection. There might be something to do with music in this, but I'm really getting the image of like the low, sexy sax solo over like soft lighting wine glasses and 2 people like making out in front of a roaring fire that was basically like the staple of sexy times in 1990s film and television. So I'm taking that ultimately to mean that there was, if this was a romantic connection, that there was a powerful physical chemistry between you. Let's see. Okay. So bruise. Yeah. Is there an E? There's no E, but still, bruise. Yeah, so here's the thing. Again, just because it hurts doesn't mean it was wrong to go. Just because you miss it, just because you can see a bruise forming, doesn't mean it was wrong to go. Just because leaving was a wound doesn't mean that it was wrong. Sometimes, like surgery, you have to do something that is painful in order to ultimately get well. Yeah, and interesting because we don't have K, but RIS, and then I saw risk when I looked at this. And that said that on that Ace of Coins is a risky endeavor. Oh, and then I see Aries. We don't have the E, but Aries. Okay. But yeah, so I do think that is the thing that is making you think, oh, should I be going back? Did I make a mistake? Is because I feel like you just feel like a little bit of insecurity now, perhaps. But no, I think Spirit is saying, nope, 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 nope. You were right to leave. It was good that you left. This is what you need to move forward. This is what you need to get into that Chariot energy, which ultimately is going to lead you toward the sun. Okay, so we got number 1 coming out twice. So that could be life path 11 too. We got 88, so that's another set of matched parent energy. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3 sets of matched pair energies that have come out now. So yeah, I think with this 6 of wands here, I think that you are getting ready to... Yeah, I think that you are getting ready to enter a situation where it's like you are not now... I feel like, okay, this is what it is. I was like, why can't I grab it? But I feel like there's a situation that you've been in all this time, whatever this situation that you're leaving was, that you have had to convince people like, no, I'm fine. No, I'm okay. No, this is good for me. No, blah, blah, blah. But you are about to get ready to go into a situation where everybody can see that it's the perfect match. And all the people in your social circle are going to be like, oh my God, you look so happy. Oh my God, you and so look so great together. Or if this is a work situation, like, oh my God, I never would have thought of this job for you, but of course it's perfect. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the contrast. That's why I couldn't, because I was picking it up as like, so are they going to be telling people that it's a good match, or are people going to be telling them? But it's the contrast. You were always trying to convince people of it before, but now people are going to be telling you, and you're going to love that feeling, pile 1. Come on. Yes, you're going to love that feeling. Yeah, you really are. And that's going to tell you like, yeah, this was meant to be. This was the path I was meant to walk. Okay, only 2 zodiac signs came out. So we got, but I do feel like Aries came out in the letters. So we've got Sagittarius and Pisces. Let's grab some charms. Alrighty. Yeah, so music comes out again. So yeah, there really could be a musical connection with that sax. Yeah, so saxes are often used in fully instrumental music. So yeah, there may be something about like you connecting over the music part of music and not necessarily the lyrics, something like that. Okay, so yeah, with this mermaid, I mean, you are a magical sea creature. And, the mermaid's domain is the ocean, and the ocean is feelings. And going back to, I feel like you have been in a situation where you have been shamed for your feelings. And I feel like this mermaid charm is indicating that your feelings are freaking magical. And you need to embrace them because they are what make you magical and make you special. And anybody that can't see them, that does not deserve to be in your mermaid orbit. Okay, so with this dragonfly, again, with the super ornate wings, and dragonflies are often blue and purple. That's taking me back to that blue and purple colorscape. That might be a really special colorscape for you. But yeah, with the super ornate wings, that's again giving me this like one of a kind. What? And with magical, we even got magic as one of the oracle cards. And I have ADHD. Details are not my best thing. They come back to me at random moments. It's a real roll of the dice. So this whole time you might be going like, yeah, magic. It was one of the oracle cards, but that literally just came back to me. Sorry, Pile 1. So yeah, with this, like scabbard or this small sword, I feel like that is the energy of like an up close battle, but it has to be up close. Like this isn't a machete. This isn't a sword. You can't stand from like a relatively safe distance and kind of hack away at something. You got to get up close. And I think that is Spirit's message about getting through this time that is painful, is that you're not going to be able to do it from, a safe distance. You're going to need to really get in there and dig out the painful parts and really face some uncomfortable truths. It's going to be so worth it though. Yeah, look at this 4-leaf clover charm. Like there is so much favor and luck and blessings waiting for you on the other side of facing this trauma and going through this very, very difficult tower moment. Yeah, and with this bicycle, that is giving me chariot energy with the 2 wheels representing like the 2 horses that are generally on a chariot card and the way that a bicycle moves forward. Yeah, absolutely. With this infinity, yeah, I feel like you're moving into a brand new future and this one's going to be stable. This one's going to last forever. But lastly, I'm kind of taking this toothbrush charm as just like a sort of like last little admonition from Spirit. Not admonition, like a little hint or like as you're leaving and your parents are like, don't forget to get gas or whatever. This is Spirit saying, this is going to take daily upkeep. This is not like, pixie dust being sprinkled on your head. No, you have a whole new view. No, you do still need to work at this every day. Like spiritual ascension is not a moment that happens. It's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong process. It's a lifelong commitment. It is so worth it. But yeah, just like with all of the things that you do to maintain your body, you do the same things to maintain your spirit. So yeah, this is going to take daily upkeep, but it's gonna be so worth it. Pile 1. Sorry about that, Pile 1. And right at the end too, I got interrupted and yeah, had to come back just to do the last little outro portion. But yes, so that is what I have for you, Pile 1. I hope that it brought you some clarity and some insights and actually like some real excitement for the future, because I feel like you've got some really, really big and amazing and awesome things coming up, like in the near future, not on the horizon, like in the very near future. So yeah, I hope it made you excited about that. But the one thing that I want to really leave you with is this: you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the teacher card, you have arrived at your reading. And yeah, so this card has special resonance to me because I actually used to be a teacher. For 5 years, I taught elementary school and junior high, and that's a really special part of my history that I identify with a lot and love. And I also actually really connect the idea of being a teacher with the idea of new energies coming in, because one of the things that I did really love about teaching is there's this very cyclical aspect of it. You're constantly experiencing like a new beginning, a brand new school year, and then things coming to an end. And there's all these ceremonies that go along with the end of the year. And I just think School and teaching is one of the areas of life that really honor beginnings and endings in a way that is emotionally resonant. And I love that. I relate to that a lot. And also the fact of the new decks, because as anyone who has ever been a teacher knows, there is legitimately nothing in life more satisfying than cracking open a new package of index cards or a box of pencils or just, yes, like opening new office supplies. It's the freaking best. All right, so let's tap in here. Spirit, dial me into what new energies are coming in for pile 2. What new energies are coming in for pile 2, please? A new inner awareness, introspection and self-reflection, peaceful contemplation. I love that. And actually, like thinking of the idea of a school year, that reminds me of a summer vacation, because when I would be on break in between school years, that's something that I would do, is reflect on how the year before went and reflect on how, like, things I wanted to really build on because they were strong for the next year, or things that I wanted to change up, things that could go better. And I think a lot of people with cyclical jobs like that have that experience. The time in between, the downtime, is when you reflect on what went well and what you'd like to go better. And yeah, I think that's so valuable. I think there's such a life lesson that can be taken from that. Okay, distraction, interruption, creating confusion, focus on the present moment. Yeah, that's really interesting that we got a card that is about, looking backward and looking forward, and then a card that specifically says focus on the present moment. So yeah, you may be finding, that may be a new energy that's coming in for you, is finding just the most beautiful and resonant balance between those two energies, because both of those have their place. Yeah, and I know in my life, finding a balance between those two things has been a challenge. I am usually way too wrapped up in the past, or way too wrapped up in the future, or like very, adopting an extremely, to torture a very annoying phrase, YOLO approach to life, because I just can't deal with the past or the future. And yeah, honestly, I think that would be such a lovely energy to be able to have the exact right balance and the proper respect for the past, the present, and the future. Have them each in their proper place. Oh my God, maybe I'm in pile 2. Okay, fence. Overcoming family or social problems, emotional boundaries, feelings of being fenced in, easy to overcome obstacles. Yes, please. If you have to have obstacles, let's go for easy to overcome obstacles. Establishing strong bonds and connections, staying too isolated, sense of restriction, or being on the fence. That actually does make me think of, an idea of like 2 yards that are separated by a fence. And so you can either get wrapped up in the grass is always greener on the other side, or you're like too focused on your own yard, and so you're not even willing to help out your neighbor, or like the phrase on the fence, like you just can't make a decision between 2 things. Yeah, I think a lot of your new energies that are coming in are going to be about finding balance between like embracing something as a duality versus constantly scrambling to find the right balance. That you just, acceptance. I think acceptance that certain things are a duality, and trusting that a combination of your intuition, of spirit, will always help you walk that line. Okay, envelope, incoming messages or communication, eager anticipation, opportunity, overcoming obstacles. Yeah, more about overcoming obstacles. That is awesome. Positive news, upcoming events, and invitations. Yeah, and it almost strikes me as if Spirit is extending an invitation to rest. Yeah, I think that this is something that you have been trying to achieve on your own for a long time. And I think that you have been attempting maybe to apply logic and strategy to finding this balance in different situations, that you have been making pros and cons lists or making like schedules, like time blocking, whether that's literal or metaphorical, that you are, trying to assign percentages of where you're going to put your time and energy based on like formulas or something like that. And not that strategy and logic doesn't have its place, but I think that Spirit is drawing you or inviting you to recognize that things that have more to do with intuition, with emotion, with the 5D, a lot of times, first of all, the balance, the quote unquote perfect balance is always in flux. And so you have to pivot based on intuition. And there is a lot of like relaxing and going with the flow, going with the current that needs to happen. And I think that Spirit is inviting you to rest in that. Okay, I am always respected. And that is number 44, which then reduces to 8. So 4, 44, or 8 may be an important number. Yeah, 44 strikes me as, I do think that just through the course of life, 44 being sort of middle-aged is when a lot of people do stop and sort of take stock of their life, look to the past, look to the future, and try to find a balance. I am always pursued. Yes. And that is 27, which reduces to 9. So 2, 7, 27, or 9 might be important numbers here. And, I think that is also really interesting because if you think about people, either people in the public sphere, the zeitgeist, or people that you know in your life, people that have very balanced, calm, rested, relaxed energy, and more than just like calm as in, I don't really care what happens, but calm as in, I trust. I trust that things are always working out for me. I trust in Spirit. You are drawn to those people. And people in general are drawn to those people. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like people like Brene Brown, Elizabeth Gilbert, that have found this sort of peace with the duality. They've embraced the mystery. They rest, relax, they trust. Insights come from that, and people are drawn to that. So yeah, I think that when you accept this invitation from Spirit, when you are able to surrender a lot of the angst that has surrounded some of these balancing acts, and when you are truly not this is not something that you can consciously decide. You can consciously pursue it, but it's not something that you can say, okay, I'm going to trust now. Okay, done. Now I trust. No, this is a process. This is something that happens organically as you continue to release small things. All of those small things add up to a big release. Oh my God, I'm such a child. Okay, so let's just say this might have an aspect of 18 plus energy to it. Yeah, so I think that also with this hiding card, I think that there could be an element of, I think that maybe there has been some energy of shame around these struggles. And that, I think that maybe only when you achieve this sense of balance and peace and you look back on your struggles, only then are you really going to recognize how common to the human experience those struggles actually were. And maybe even you're going to realize that by sharing your own struggles and the realizations that came out of them, Possibly you could even help other people because, I'm actually feeling one more card from this deck. Because actually it is very human to wrestle with these kinds of questions and these kinds of emotions. Okay. So yeah, I think that Spirit is saying that the antidote to this hiding energy is to extend compassion to yourself. Gentle and understanding. The two cards that immediately popped into my mind, Spirit showed me a picture of the Six of Pentacles and a picture of the Queen of Cups. So a compassionate, generous energy. Yeah, pile 2, you may be a person who really expects a lot of yourself. And I think Spirit is saying like every missed expectation, every time you are so hard on yourself for falling short of these arbitrary expectations that you have set up for yourself, every single time that you do that, it sort of builds this fence higher and higher. It makes your obstacles more difficult to overcome because you are then also struggling with this, I should feel ashamed because I'm still working on this. No, absolutely not. And with this, I am always respected. I notice that the person on here is jogging. And that makes me think of the idea of a fitness program. And a lot of people who have a lengthy fitness journey ahead of them to achieve whatever their goals are. It can feel very daunting at the beginning, but if the fact that the goals are not achieved is outwardly visible, like if you would walk into a gym, for instance, and feel out of place, if there are things about you physically that would make you feel out of place, there can be a lot of shame that goes along with beginning that journey because of the fact that it's outwardly visible. And I think that Spirit is saying this is not something that's outwardly visible, but you're experiencing the same kind of shame because you feel it. I think that you feel that other people can see your struggle. And I think that you look at other people and see them as so much more evolved than you are in this way. And maybe maybe there even are like outward signs of it. Like maybe you have a really short temper and then you get so angry with yourself after you lose your temper every time. Or maybe, maybe it results in a situation where you struggle to keep up with day-to-day tasks. And so, you feel so much shame when you see like the dishes are in the sink for the 4th day in a row, or you recognize that like, oh my God, I didn't pay XYZ again and now it's late and I'm gonna have a late fee. And and a lot of this like internal mental chaos could be because of this lack of balance, but even more so this lack of willingness to be open about your struggles and this lack of compassion and understanding that you extend to yourself. Yeah, something that's popping into my mind is, so Allison Raskin, who is, she used to be a BuzzFeeder. She has a podcast with Gabby Dunn called Just Between Us. And she is very open about her mental health struggles. She struggles with compulsion OCD. And so she posted an Instagram reel one time that just resonated with me so much. And I loved it so much. And it was about the fact that she did so much better after she started incorporating failure as part of her self-identity, which sounds counterintuitive. Like, we're always taught, like, don't think of yourself as a failure. Think of yourself as a success. That's how you're going to be a success. But when you think of yourself only as a person who succeeds, only as a success, or someone who should be able to succeed every single time, that creates a lot of guilt and shame and self-recrimination and angst when you fail, because your self-concept is of someone who should not fail, someone who is capable of success and should achieve it every time. But when you incorporate failure, not that you think of yourself as a failure, but you incorporate failure, like failure being part of the process, into your self-concept, then when you fail, it makes it much easier to think of it as, okay, so I failed. That's not unexpected, because my self-concept is I am a person who always tries and sometimes succeeds and sometimes fails. So it's fine. And because that was expected, I already have a process in place to examine all of the factors that led up to this particular failure and see where I can do better next time. It really just takes all of that like gross, oily, hard to wash off shame feeling out of the process, and it depersonalizes it, and it makes it so much easier to move forward. And I think that is something that could be really useful, because that is just another way to extend gentleness and understanding to yourself. And another way to phrase that is just, we are all human. We are all gonna mess up from time to time. It happens. So let's just figure out how to do it better the next time. Let's just figure out how to achieve this calm, gentle, peaceful balance that Spirit is calling us to. I think that is the new energy that is coming in for you. I think you are going to be so much easier on yourself. And I think that you're going to celebrate yourself. And I think that you are going to surrender to the image that Spirit has of you, which is so much more full and celebratory and understanding than the one that you have of yourself. And I think that it's going to bring you so much peace, honestly, pile 2. Okay, so that is what I am getting from the Oracle cards. Let's dive into tarot. Alrighty. Well, let me make sure. Yes, I am holding the deck right side up. That's a problem that I have. I sometimes hold the deck upside down and then I'm like, oh my God, every single card came out reversed. What is going on here? Alrighty. Spirit, tell me about the energy that's coming in for pile 2, please. Tell me about the new energies that are coming in for pile 2. Yeah, and there could be a connection between pile 1 here, because I really am getting the idea that you could go on and help other people. Whoa! Holy Major Arcana, Batman. Oh my gosh. That's 3 Major Arcana in a row. Well, this is an extra card that's in this deck. But still, the extra cards are generally considered, they're not minor arcana. Okay. Okay. This is so interesting. Oh, but anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I have ADHD, by the way, in case that was not immediately apparent. So yeah, I think that this might be leading you toward a situation where you are going to be very open about these realizations, the struggles and the realizations, and the fact that it's an ongoing struggle, and the realizations that you're having on an ongoing basis. in a way that really helps other people, that you become kind of like this shining light for other people, that you're like really open about your journey with the Fool card here. And that makes a lot of sense because the card that you chose was the Teacher, but that's something that came through pretty strong in pile 1, is that you become someone who helps others. So yeah, you might have also been drawn to pile 1. Yeah, so the thing that I think that is interesting here is that the instigating energy is this burden. And yeah, there is like, okay, I mean, I don't want to, it's not like the pain Olympics or something. It's not a competition between which kind of burden is worse. But I will say there's a special kind of awful when the burden that you're carrying is one that your mind is subjecting you to, one that has like an ongoing tape inside your mind telling you how horrible you are. Because the reason why I think that is like a special kind of terrible is because it's inescapable. Anywhere you go, there you are. You are always, it doesn't matter what kind of outside circumstances change, your inside mind is the thing that you are always living with 24 hours a day. It is, and I mean, that's why a lot of people who struggle with substances, that is something that they have, is this constant internal 10 of Wands. And yeah, changing their inner state is the only thing that allows them to escape that. And I'm not picking it up as something that is that bad. Like, I wouldn't put this as far as like an 8 of Swords or a 9 of Swords. Like, I don't really feel you as being tortured so much as just like, this is how I feel it. Like, again, like, I just feel like you're so hard on yourself when you don't measure up to what you think you should be measuring up to. And that is also not what Spirit wants for you. It may not be as bad as it can get, but it's definitely not as good as it can get. And Spirit only wants the best and highest for you. Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where it's like, I just wish that I could, like, you know, sprinkle some magic fairy dust on your eyes and you would be able to see yourself through the lens that Spirit sees you. Even just for 5 minutes, I think that it would change your perspective so much if you only understood. Because I feel like right now I'm feeling the feelings that Spirit feels toward you, and it's so affectionate and it's so loving and it's so like there is like an undercurrent of pain running through, because like a really good parent, it is so difficult for them to watch you struggle, but they understand that they can't just rush in and fix it for you. This is a journey you have to go on your own. But I think it even pains them to see you be so hard on yourself, because they see the version of you that is true, which is someone that is so precious. Yeah. But with this meditation card, that I think is the key to yeah. So justice is another card that means balance. Like, justice has a very strong connotation of things being in perfect balance with one another. So I think that meditation is something that is going to help you to achieve this balance. I almost feel like even the thought of that scares you, though. Or maybe it's not scares you, but like, I almost feel like you think your self-recrimination is the only thing that's holding you together. And it's like, well, if I stop being so hard on myself, then everything's just going to fall apart. Like, I'm just going to, like, who knows what I would even be if I wasn't so hard on myself. And maybe you don't even think that you deserve to not be hard on yourself. But I think that you're going to be so shocked to find out how much higher you can fly without the weights of being so hard on yourself holding you down. I think that you think that you having like no patience and cutting yourself no slack is the only thing that's keeping you on track or on the path. But I think the thing that you don't see is that it's keeping you from flying. Yeah, I think that like there is so much more you could be doing, and you could be even so much more effective without that holding you down. Like it's not keeping you stable, it's keeping you bound. But I think you just don't have the perspective to see that right now. But I think through meditation, and meditation doesn't have to just be like classic meditation. I would broaden that to be any activity that allows you to go within and connect to spirit simultaneously. Any activity where there's like a mind, body, soul connection. So that could be yoga for you. That could be taking walks in nature. That could be meditation. That could be, doing affirmations, listening to subliminals. That could be a journaling practice. That could be artistic expression, painting, writing, drawing, music, that anything that when you are in it, you feel so much more like yourself and you can actually feel the divine. That's meditation to you. And that is what will help you achieve this balance between having goals and wanting to stretch and wanting to be better and striving to be better, but also really celebrating where you are right now. Yeah, and this is a journey, again, that I feel like other people could really benefit from you being open about. That could be just people in your close circle, absolutely. But I don't know, I'm feeling like it's going to be a little wider than that, to be honest with you, pile 2. I'm feeling like maybe it's going to be like a blog situation, or you're going to start an Instagram or a YouTube or something. Yeah, because and excuse me. And here's the thing too. Look at, Look at how eager this little mouse looks, but realistically eager. It's like he understands how complex the journey ahead of him might be and how many obstacles might stand in his way. He's not naive about it, but he's like, okay, let's do this. I've got my hat, I've got my scarf, I've got everything I need. Let's do this. Yeah, I like that. And that also is a balanced energy. Yes. Okay, so in the outcome position here, we have the 7 of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So yeah, I do think that Spirit is saying this is not going to be instantaneous. This is going to be a quest. This quest to find and rest in this truth about yourself. With this 7 of Wands, I don't think that everyone is going to be happy to see you going on this quest. That is very typical, that when we seriously level up in our self-concept, it changes our relationship to the people that are in our lives, because suddenly we are responding to situations differently. Suddenly we are standing up for ourselves. Suddenly we are not accepting what we used to accept. And yeah, that causes a shakeup many times in our social circle, in our relationship, in our work situation. And so I do think that Spirit is saying, this is not going to be a situation that, it's not going to be like everyone is not going to be as stoked about the fact that you are viewing yourself as more valuable and you are cutting yourself more slack. Some people are going to be like, no, hold on, wait a second. What happened to that person that was constantly down on themselves if they didn't come through for everybody? Because, I kind of needed that person because I kind of used that person a lot. So I think that Spirit is saying this is a journey that you are going to have to be strong in, that you are going to have to defend against people that are coming against it. And unfortunately, I think this is a journey where people are going to reveal themselves and what their future position is meant to be in your life. I think that this is going to be a situation where the people in your life sort themselves out. I don't even think you're going to have to sort them. I think that they are going to put themselves into one of two categories, which is people who celebrate and support this new version of you and can move forward with you, or people that are going to be consistently fighting you on it, and they have now removed themselves from the ability to be close to you in the future. And that is sad and it is unfortunate, but every time you level up, that happens. So I think Spirit is just saying, don't let that come as a surprise. Don't let that come as a shock. And definitely don't let it make you feel like you're on the wrong track, because you're not. This is the journey that is meant for you. And this is, and from those people's perspective, you now valuing justice in your life and being treated fairly and kind of demanding equitable treatment, that is going to feel to them like something is being taken away from them, because they're now getting less of you and less from you than they used to get. But in truth, you're not taking anything away from them. This is a rebalancing of the energies to make it equitable. And whether people rail against that or embrace it will tell you whether they are only concerned about themselves or whether they also value you and your perspective. Yeah, people are going to reveal themselves to you, and that might be painful. I'm not going to lie. That might be really painful. But at the end of it, when you find yourself in a life where you are only surrounded by people who value you as much as they value their own wants and needs, you're going to be shocked by how happy. Yeah, okay, so here we have the Two of Cups reversed. Yeah, the Two of Cups reversed, which says unhealthy attachment. And I think that these are the people that are going to be, I don't even want to say that you're going to have to cut them out. I mean, I kind of feel like the phrase that keeps running through my head is the trash takes itself out. Yeah, I think that they are going to I think there's going to be several situations where people sort of storm off in a huff and then are just so super shocked that you are not coming after them. Because now you are in this Queen of Cups energy. And I think that you understand now that you deserve compassion, grace, affection, concern. And if those people are not going to provide that to you, you need to provide that to yourself. And I think that you are really strongly in that revelation now. Yeah, and I think that when these people exit your life and expect you to come running after them and sort of like beg for forgiveness, you are going to recognize that the most compassionate thing that you can do for yourself and for them is to love them from afar. And I think that that's going to be a huge shock to multiple people, but it's the beginning of a healthier dynamic. And here is something that I think that you can keep in mind just to kind of comfort you through the pain of those scenarios, is that it doesn't have to be forever. Just like your ascension changed the dynamic, they could in the future have an ascension and a healthier dynamic could be reestablished between the two of you. It doesn't mean that those people are out of your life forever. It could just be a season. And this could be the very thing that drives them on toward growth. So yeah, this could be the most compassionate thing that you could absolutely do for them. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands, reverse harmony restored. Come on now. I love it when I am channeling something that is not like immediately apparent in the cards. It's just like an aside that pops into my brain. And then the very next card that comes out is Spirit being like, yeah, it's such a cool little thing that happens in readings sometimes. And the reason I think why I love it so much is because it's almost like a party trick or a parlor trick that spirit does, I think, with a little like wink or like a twinkle in the eye. The purpose of which I think is to show you that, yeah, if this is how much trouble I will go to just to show you what I'm doing to work on your behalf, imagine how much more effort I put into actually working on your behalf. And I think that, yeah, it's just such a cool way to show that. And I love it so much. So yeah, I just think that as you're going through this, keep in mind that the things and the relationships specifically, I think that are being shaken up, they might not be shaken up forever. There might be a point in the future where things come back into balance and it's a healthier balance. And yeah, and I just think that you are going to be utterly shocked by how happy and free you feel. On the other side of this, honestly, pile 2, you've got a beautiful future ahead of you. Wow. Let's get some letters, numbers, and charms. Okay. Spirit, what are some letters that are going to shed more light on this? Give me some letters that are going to shed more light. Okay, we have O, I, Z, Q, G, E, P. Okay. So first of all, go. Yeah, I think forward progress. And then I, so yeah, definitely like an emphasis on self-growth. Okay, IP, which stands for intellectual property. That is giving me more energy of like those creative pursuits, of really diving into creative pursuits. QE, that makes me think of Queen. We don't have a U, but QIP is making me think of Quip. So I think Spirit is saying, you know, approaching this with a light-hearted energy and, you know, laugh, like when you feel like it is all very heavy, like getting into things that are going to make you laugh could be a really important thing to do for yourself. Okay, we've got IEP, which is interesting because this is the teacher card, and I was talking about my history with school and teaching at the beginning. And so IEP is Individualized Education Plan. And that is something that students get when they need, you know, a bit more personal attention for whatever reason. And I think that Spirit is saying, yeah, I'm kind of getting the idea that Spirit is saying, yeah, everybody on Earth is kind of on their own IEP. Like, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your other journey to other people. You've got a journey that is tailor-made for you. So don't compare your progress to others. Your fool's journey is your own. Let's see. PE, physical education, again, another thing to do with school. That is really funny. So yeah, getting out and moving that body. Yes, mind, body, soul connection. That was something that came through to me pretty strongly. And I think that, yeah, so getting out, taking walks, even if it's just walks. There is a thing, I think it's so great, the emphasis on fitness in society now. And we have CrossFit and we have like all these dance fitness things and we have like, there's so many different kinds of fitness now, but that I think like some people think like, okay, I've got to like start this, got to join the gym. I've got to, you know, start like tracking all this stuff. I've got to, yes, all of that is great. And I think that it's so wonderful that all that stuff is available, but also like take a walk. Like there's also a beauty in that of doing things that are very simple. So I think, yeah, just like moving your body is also going to be very good for your soul. Let's see, what else? Okay, so Oz. So yeah, like the whole like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz thing of like suddenly waking up in this brand new world. I think that is going to be a pretty decent metaphor for how you feel after you've gone through even part of this transition that with Pi, I think that you are really not going to be able to believe how sweet it tastes and how luscious it is and how every day is really like a treat. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm seeing is Pi, P-I, which is 3.14, and it just extends on to infinity. But also because of that, March 14th is a date that is Pi Day. So yeah, March 14th might have some significance. Yeah, let's grab some numbers. The way that I said that just reminded me of Richard the Copy Guy. I don't know if you guys remember that skit from SNL. He was like, making copies. So I don't know. That might have something to do. Okay, so yeah, March, the first number that we got is 3, and then we also got Pi. So yeah, 3 might be significant here. Then we also got 9, 5, and 0. So those can be like engram, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, enneagram. And yep, I'm not good at pronunciations sometimes, I guess. But it can also be your life path number. It can be, September might be significant. Same with 5, 3, 0. And these can also be combined like 95, 50, 30, 35, things like that. Alrighty, let's grab some zodiac signs. There it is. Okay, so we got Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Aries. Yeah, I mean, Cancer, that's that Queen of Cups energy. Yeah, and Gemini is duality. It's the twins. Come on now. Leo is an energy of rising up and and like being a leader. Wow, and Aries is kind of like that persistence, that 7 of Wands energy. Wow, that's really cool that the energies really were reflected in the reading like that. Okay, so with this compass rose, that is really giving me like connecting to your intuition. Yeah, and with this Ganesha, to me, that's really like a connection to your own story. Like really, yeah, that's that IEP, like recognizing that your story is individual. It is your own. With this angel wing, I think that Spirit just really wants you to know that they are around you like a guardian angel all the time. And yeah, with this anchor charm, I'm really getting what I was sensing about, I think that you feel like that energy of not cutting yourself any slack is what is keeping you anchored. But Spirit's like, no, we are keeping you anchored. Like, we got you. You can do your work, which is this spiritual ascension. You don't need to keep you anchored. We've got that covered. Yeah, and then with this bicycle, I'm just really getting forward movement. Yeah, moving forward. I feel like you've been in stuck energy for a while, and it is time. It is time to move forward. And I think maybe what's been keeping you stuck is confusion about the direction. But what did Spirit give you? The compass rose. Yeah, being being very connected to spirit and your intuition, that is what's going to let you know what direction you need to move forward. All right, so that is what I have for you, Pile 2. I hope that it resonated, gave you some clarity, gave you some insights, really just gave you even some food for thought. That would be that. If it even gave you just food for thought, I would be so happy about that. But the thing that I really want to leave you with is this, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose this card that it says Inner Calling, you have arrived at your pile. So yes, let's take a look at what Spirit has for you. What is the new energy that is coming in? Or new energies? Yeah, it could be more than one new energy. Yeah, so this says an internal shift, awakening to a greater sense of purpose. So that could be a new energy that's coming in, is that you just have this increased, intense awareness of what you were put on this earth for. Yeah, this could be my starseeds pile. This could be just people with a huge purpose that can kind of be overwhelming, but you're just getting like a real sense of clarity about it coming in here real quick. Okay, so we've got the mother, abundance, instinctive, maternal. I almost said mature. So yeah, maturity. I mean, yeah. Abundance, instinctive, maternal nature, divine feminine. And then upheaval. Okay, unexpected liberation, destruction of established patterns. So yeah, that's giving me major tower card energy vibes. So yeah, the tower, as we know, can be not the most pleasant thing to go through, but man, when you're building that new, more stable tower in its place afterward, I mean, that's the reason why the tower has to come down, right? Is so that something that serves us so much better can be rebuilt in its place. Yeah, so with this mother card, yeah, I do think that there could be a situation where you have all of these very nurturing instincts. And that is part of your divine purpose here on this earth, is to nurture in a broad sense and maybe in a very specific sense, like maybe being an actual mother is part of your calling here on this earth. But I think that it goes even beyond that, like earth mother energy, that just, yeah, bringing through an energy of nurturance is part of your calling, part of your plan here. But I think that maybe you have not had clarity about the way to express it, so that you had just all this very intense, nurturing energy, all this love that just had nowhere to go because you didn't have clarity on how to express your purpose. So I think maybe you've been connected with people who have taken advantage of that, that have kind of realized like, oh man, I got one on the hook here. This is someone who will just keep giving and giving and giving and giving. God, it's awesome. Yeah, so you may be like an empath that has gotten connected with narcissists. That is something that happens with frightening frequency. Or, I mean, even if it's not on that level, you may just be a giver who has connected over and over again with takers. And it has really messed with your sense of self-worth, I think. And yeah, I think that is probably what this upheaval is going to be, is unexpected liberation. Yeah, this may be a situation where you're going to go through something where it's sort of the definition of rejection is divine protection. Like someone in your life who has just been a taker may leave your life in a way that they really feel that they are punishing you. And it might be painful in the short term, but what they don't realize is that ultimately they have set you free because they were never good for you. Not overall. So yeah, time to cleanse. Purging of old emotions, taking time for self-care, be mindful of your words, receiving helpful advice, purification, yes, releasing unhealthy thoughts, habits, patterns, and I would add people. Yeah, so there may be a moment that comes up, kind of a crossroads moment, where you have the ability to go after this person and draw them back into your life, or you can do nothing and just let them go. I would urge you to let them go. Yeah, and I think that your intuition will be telling you that that is the right thing, but it's gonna feel so scary and painful to envision a life without them. And yeah, I feel like Spirit is urging you to not give in to that fear, but to really follow your intuition as to what is going to ultimately serve you. Yeah, because I feel like you do have such a purpose here with this Helm card. Motivation to move forward towards goals. Willpower. Yes, exercising willpower to not give in to that fear. Awards and honor. Yes, you are meant to be lifted up and honored. Pile 3. Like that is... Yeah, you have a calling. You have a very specific calling that I feel like you have been wasting on takers, honestly. And I think that this is the season where you find your true soul tribe, the people who will honor what you give and cherish what you give and honor you. Taking control, making your own decisions, solidity in future choices, a leader. Yeah, you are. You are a leader. And I feel like this beautiful energy that you have been called to give the world has actually been perverted by these taker energies from like into an energy of owing or service. Like, yeah, that you have an obligation. It's not an obligation. It's a gift. This nurturing energy is a gift. And when you give it to people that don't appreciate it, that's when it becomes an obligation. And I think that this is the season of your life where you are getting 100% freed from that. And I think that this is also a season where you are going to start building a mental catalog, like a mental database or a spreadsheet of what the red flags look like. Because I don't think once you experience freedom from these taking energies, I don't think you're ever going to want to go back there again. And I think that you are developing the skills to never have to, honestly. Okay, I am always feminine, which came out right below divine feminine. That is very interesting. Yeah, I do think that you are a divine feminine, that you have this attracting energy, but it's just you haven't, up until now, you haven't experienced like the purity or the ascended version of that energy. And so what you've been attracting into your life has been, to put it plainly, garbage. These have been garbage humans. These have been people who are only out for what they can take from you. And you are taking out the trash, pile 3. This is the season in your life where you are taking out the trash, or, yeah, with this Helm card, you are allowing the trash to take themselves out. Yeah, there's some real connections here between piles 1 and 2. So if you felt called to either one of those piles, there could definitely be messages for you there. But I do think that this is just, there are similar threads going on throughout the collective right now. And, you know, I'm hearing the "We're Not Gonna Take It" song, and I think that that is one of the threads that's going through the collective right now, is recognition of your own worth. Okay. Yeah, I am always grounded. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Being solid. Being very unshakable in that knowledge of your own self-worth. Absolutely. Yeah, this is beautiful energy. This is, I mean, it's not going to be an easy journey. Like, it's never a great sign for the, like, smoothness and easiness of a journey when we get the upheaval card coming out. But it's such a necessary journey. And yeah, this is another thing that I think is very closely tied to pile 2, is that you are going to feel so free and happy when it is over. Or not over, I guess, because our journey of spiritual ascension is never really over. But I do think that we go through important periods of that journey that we can look back on as like a distinctly bound period of time or part of the path that is over. And when you are around this particular bend in the road, I think that you are not even, okay, so I just saw a very beautiful image of, so when you are going up, when you are going into Lake Tahoe, coming from the direction of Sacramento, and you're going on 50, there is a particular bend that you come around. It's called Echo Summit. And it is, you come around this bend and all of a sudden the whole view of the lake opens up in front of you. And when you're coming up 50 from Sacramento, it's the first time that you see the lake is coming around Echo Summit. And I think that that is going to be what this is like. That you are, yeah, you are coming around Echo Summit and all of a sudden the beautiful, gorgeous, deep blue, gigantic lake full of possibilities is going to open up in front of you. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that this was here for me. And Spirit is going to be like, yep, it's all for you. It's all for you, baby. Strength. Okay, yeah, and so I do think that there are going to be moments where you have to lean into this helm energy, where you have to realize that steering your own ship might be hard work, but it's so preferable to sitting back and letting someone who does not have your best and highest interests involved steer it. One more card, Spirit, one more card. Okay, and discovery, yes. Yes, discovery. That is that Echo Summit energy. That is that moment when everything that is ahead of you just opens up before your eyes and you have a realization that you never had before, that the world is wide and beautiful and it is all for you. It is all there for the taking. It is all for you. And you are the one who decides where you go next. I mean, obviously in conjunction with Spirit, but truthfully, you know, Spirit is really here to support us in our own decisions. Decisions are for us to make. Yeah, and I think that that is probably something with this really nurturing, really giving nature that you have, pile 3, that has been difficult for you to come to terms with, because I feel like you have this innate sense that life is meant to be lived for others. And I think that the new energy that Spirit is calling you to is a realization that life is actually meant to be lived for yourself through giving to others, which may sound like a fine distinction or simply semantics, but in truth, it is the entire difference. It's the difference between everything. With this Helm card, I'm getting the feeling of navigation, and that when you have a destination in mind, that just like a difference of just like the tiniest fraction of a degree at the beginning of plotting out your journey can put you hundreds of miles off course, missing your destination by the time you get there. So those fine distinctions matter. The difference between whether life is meant to be lived for others or whether life is meant to be lived honoring your own soul's journey through the process of giving to others, that may seem like two different ways of expressing the same concept, but it's not. It's really not. It's about who's in control. It's about who's steering the ship. Yeah, and I think that that is something that you are going to be coming into in this next upcoming time period. Like that's the next bend in the road that you are about to go around, is this discovery that your inner strength is to be honored. Yeah, your soul's journey is just as important as everyone else that you are giving to. And it is through that process of honoring yourself and your own soul's journey that this upheaval is going to happen, because people around you who are used to you putting their needs, wants, and desires so far ahead of and above your own there's going to be a shakeup. And it's going to be kind of like, shaking a tree, like an apple tree where the apples are almost ready to be picked, and you like shake that tree, and some apples are going to fall down and some are going to stay. So yeah, your tree is about to be shaken, and some people's grip is not going to be that strong, and those people are going to fall away. But the ones who are left afterward are the ones that are meant to be there. And I don't mean to be like blasé or glib about it. That is a very difficult, painful process. So yeah, I don't mean to be like, oh yeah, it's just going to be so easy. Like some people are going to leave, some people are going to stay. No biggie. Like, no, it's going to feel like a real big biggie when you are in it. But the thing that I was trying to get across is that it is a natural process. It's an organic process. It's not one that you have to struggle to control. The only thing that you have to control, the one thing that is within your realm of responsibility to control, is your own soul's journey. The rest of it takes care of itself. Yeah, that's the main message here. That's the main message. Okay, so that is what I am getting from the Oracle cards. Let's dive into Tarot. Spirit, tap me into the energy of pile 3. What new energy is coming in for them? Okay, protection. Yes, you have been, and this is, first of all, I think it's really special whenever one of the extra cards that's included with any deck comes out, because I think that just makes it sort of special and set apart. But yeah, I think that you have been pouring out the energy of protection on everyone else. And Spirit is saying, now is the time for you to be protected. So yeah, with the Chariot, you are moving forward. You are moving forward, and some people are going to come with you and some people aren't. Yeah, King of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that you are not only rising up into the energy of, yeah, you know, I think that it's really interesting because the King of Pentacles is an energy of a protector, a provider, but not in an unhealthy way. Like the King of Pentacles has boundaries. Like the King of Pentacles would never allow themselves to be surrounded by takers that are just draining all their energy all the time. No, the King of Pentacles will provide, but that provision stops at a certain point. Like the King of Pentacles is not going to allow themselves to be drained dry. Yeah, the King of Pentacles provides protection, but in a way where they are also included within that umbrella of protection. And that is what you are moving toward, because that is what you deserve, pile 3. That is what you deserve. Okay, I think that it's so interesting that this 7 of Swords card has raccoons on it, because, yeah, during the Oracle cards, I said, like, these people are, to put it plainly, garbage. They are trash people. You have been surrounded by trash people. And raccoons are often referred to as trash pandas. Yeah, you have had scavengers in your life, pile 3. You have surrounded yourself with trash pandas because you thought that's what you deserved. You don't. You deserve real pandas, pile 3. You do not deserve trash pandas. Okay, and with the 5 of Swords reversed, I mean, yeah, one of the cards in the deck that it's really kind of nice when it comes out reversed, because, yeah, this is going to be an energy where you are not going to have to be fighting for scraps anymore from trash pandas. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a raccoon who has managed to get something, some treasure, some piece of food. They're not the eagerest sharers. They don't have an energy of, you know what? I managed to get this sandwich out of the trash, but let me break it in half and give part to you, because that's just what we do. No, they are little hoarders. And if they manage to grab a sandwich from you, they're gobbling down that sandwich, and they don't care if you're hungry. Yeah, so this is going to be an energy where you are not fighting for breadcrumbs, fighting for scraps anymore. No, you are going to rise up into King of Pentacles energy, and you are going to be surrounded by Queens of Pentacles. And this does not have to just do with romantic relationships. I kind of am of the opinion that for most people in life, that the way that they do one thing is the way that they do everything. So yeah, if you are someone who has been attracted to relationships with trash pandas, you probably also have a boss that's a trash panda. And your family probably also treats you like they're trash pandas. And you probably also have a lot of friends who are in trash panda energy. It is, yeah, I think that just makes sense, because everything in our life is a reflection of the way that we feel about ourselves and what we feel we deserve. So yeah, rising up from this energy into King of Pentacles, energy is of course naturally going to cause an upheaval with who we are surrounded by, because the people we're surrounded by are a reflection of what we deep down feel we deserve. So yeah, this new energy that's coming into you is going to show you that you are not someone who deserves to spend their time wrestling over a sandwich from the garbage with a raccoon. You are someone who deserves to be showered with coins, showered with jewelry. I mean, metaphorical, obviously. I ain't saying you're a gold digger, pile 3. These are metaphorical jewels. Although they could also be literal. I don't know. Maybe you are no, I don't think you're a gold digger. Maybe you're someone who appreciates a nice necklace. That's all I'm saying. This is a rising up from someone who deep down views themselves as deserving of wrestling over crumbs to someone who views themselves as being deserving of showered with jewels. Someone who wears a crown and deserves that crown. Absolutely. Okay, yes, 4 of coins. Another card that is, not that bad when it comes out reversed. You're kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll take that in the reverse. Thank you, Spirit. But yeah, so this card says an uncluttered life. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. The trash is going to take itself out. And that's a phrase that came up in pile 2 as well. The trash is going to take itself out. The clutter is going to clear itself out. But this does occur to me that a physical decluttering may be a good step in the direction of this spiritual ascension. Yeah, because a lot of times our physical surroundings are not only reflective of what we are feeling inside, but it can kind of be a connected cycle. Clearing out our physical surroundings can actually influence how we feel inside as well. So yeah, if you've got some physical clutter, uncluttering that may be a great step toward like an actual spiritual and relational uncluttering as well. Okay. 2 of Wands. Charting a course. Come on, Helm card. And I even channeled a metaphor about when you chart your course, when you set your navigation, the tiniest degree can put you hundreds of miles off course. So yeah, I would say, like, consult your intuition when you're making your plans, you know? Definitely consult your intuition when you're making your plans. And here's what I think happens. I think your intuition gives you the plan that is meant to be, and you feel good about it. But then what you start to think is, but is that too selfish? But if I go back to school at night and then, my significant other has to watch the kids while I'm off doing this thing that's just for me, like, is that too selfish? If I do XYZ and someone else has to step up and pitch in a little bit, is that actually too selfish? And it's those small degrees of adjustment that you make to the plan after your intuition has downloaded to you the plan that is meant to be, the quote, but is that too selfish part of it comes in, and you start changing it just a little. And you think like, well, that's just a small concession. That's just a small change. But here's the thing. The smallest degree of change when you're charting your course can end up with hundreds of miles of difference in the destination. So trust your intuition. Yeah, trust your intuition. Yes, 5 of coins reversed coming out of the woods. And okay, that's so interesting because I had channeled that image of Echo Summit. So the thing that you are surrounded by for probably an hour of driving prior to coming around Echo Summit is the forest, is the woods. And when you come around Echo Summit, that's when that huge expansion of lake opens up in front of you. So yeah, I think that is interesting. You are about to come around Echo Summit. And yeah, you might want to look up like a YouTube video, or yeah, maybe I'll look up a YouTube video and put it in the notes. of what it looks like when you come around Echo Summit. Because it's beautiful. I'm sure somebody has a YouTube video of that. It's such a beautiful, iconic part of that drive. Yeah, so I'll look for it. But yeah, you're coming out of the woods and the beautiful expansion of the possibilities that are open for you, pile 3, is going to just become so clear. It's going to be such a beautiful moment of epiphany, an unbelievably powerful moment of clarity for you. Yeah, and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, so that's the thing I think that maybe I have not explored fully enough with the idea of that Helm card, is that when the idea of being the one at the helm becomes overwhelming, you definitely can lean on the fact that Spirit can take the wheel as well. And Spirit is always supporting you in your efforts to take the wheel. So yeah, you are not alone on this journey. You are turning the wheel. You are turning the helm of your own life, but Spirit is the one turning the Wheel of Fortune. And I think sometimes we get the helm and the Wheel of Fortune mixed up. And we are trying to turn the Wheel of Fortune. And Spirit is like, how about just control the helm and I'll control the Wheel of Fortune? Like if we each stay in our lanes, it works better. So yeah, I think that releasing control of the Wheel of Fortune and just focusing on the helm of our own lives is something that is so useful. And I think that's another thing that you are learning to do, because there can be some fear involved in letting go of the idea of having to control destiny. Yeah, you don't have to control destiny. Spirit is in control of destiny, and Spirit is always working for only your best and highest good. So yeah, learning to rest in that, I think, is something that is really, really important. That is a new energy coming through for you. And the thing that is also very beautiful is when you are not so focused on having to control the Wheel of Fortune, that frees up your attention to devote all of it to where it should be, which is the helm of your own life. Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, let's get some. Oh, you know what I actually just noticed is that on the back of the deck was the Knight of Cups, but actually I was just drawn to, it's the image of the shark here, because sharks have to keep moving forward. They can't go backwards. They can't stand still. And I think that's you. That's you, pile 3. You're going to be moving forward because there's no other direction to go. Alrighty, Spirit, give me some letters that are going to shed additional light on this, please. Alrighty. Okay, P-E-T. Okay, so, you know what just popped into my head is that phrase of, 5, a number got in with the letters, is that phrase, I want to be the kind of person my dog sees when they look at me, or that my dog thinks I am. Yeah, so I think that you're just coming into the realization of it. Yeah, but also, I think this is also Spirit saying that spending time with animals, if you are an animal person, might be something that is really valuable for you. Then we've also got H, M, and Z. So yeah, H, M, that's giving me more nautical imagery because a lot of ships, I think it's a British thing maybe, that it's the HM whatever. Yeah, because it stands for Her Majesty's, whatever the name of the ship is. So yeah, there's so much nautical imagery going on here. But yeah, just the idea of steering your own ship, 100%. Let's see. Met. So yeah, maybe there's a person that you're going to meet that is going to just utterly shake up your point of view. Yeah, with pH, like pH is about the chemical balance of something. Is something base, neutral, or acidic? And it is, yeah, and new things that are added into the mix change up the chemical balance, the chemical ratio there. So yeah, I think that your pH levels, your chemical balance is about to be shaken up, pile 3, 100%. Let's see, what else? Okay, with HET, so that's giving me like heterosexual, heteronormative. So maybe this is a realization to do with your identity. That if that doesn't resonate, take it as it resonates. But yeah, this could be you coming into the realization that you have been only living a small part of your identity for the good of other people. Yeah, and like there could even be particularly dramatic situations where like your family is telling you like, oh, you can't tell grandma, this will kill her, this will have a heart. Here's the thing. I understand that that's very real when you're in it and you have a lot of affection, and yeah, I understand the pull of that when you're in it and how complicated it feels when you're in it. But let me just give you a little something to let marinate, a little food for thought. Nobody's actual survival should be dependent on other people in the world living their lives the way that that person sees fit. Like you living your life in a way that in no way affects someone else should be able to kill them. That's not a thing that should be reality. So like I said, I understand there are a lot more complex layers that come into these situations. So I am in no way giving you advice. That's just a tidbit to kind of let it marinate. Yeah, that if someone is that invested, that emotionally invested in the way that you live your life that is not hurting them in any way, that is an unhealthy balance on their end, not yours. And spirit might be telling you that it's time to bring that into balance because it's hurting you. It's hurting you and you don't deserve that. Yeah. Okay, with Met, I also just heard the Met Gala. So this also may have something to do with a personal aesthetic or personal presentation. You may have been wanting to explore some like outward expressions of your inner creativity or your inner identity that people might be uncomfortable with. And yeah, you might be getting to the point where you're like, okay, you know what? Again, maybe you just shouldn't be that invested in my hairstyle and clothes. Like maybe that's just not something that you should be putting that much emotional investment in. Okay, let's grab some numbers. Alrighty, so we've got 5, 7, 9, 0, and 4. So these can also be combined into like 74, 75, 94, 79, etc. So those can be like birth month, birth year, birth date, life path number, perhaps. Okay, some zodiac signs. Here we've got Pisces, Aries, Aquarius. Yes, Aquarius, you are the star you're meant to shine. And Taurus. Yeah, Taurus, that's some King of Pentacles energy right there. And again, with the star, yes, you are meant to shine. The butterfly, transformative energy. Yes, going from caterpillar to butterfly. We've got the 4 seasons charm. Yes, every time there is a switch in season, there is a huge transformation that is happening. And also, I am taking this as the idea of a full year, which to me is Spirit saying, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. You are not going to wake up tomorrow an entirely different person. And I actually am hearing a line from a book that I heard in, I think, pile 1 as well. It's a line from The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which is, I fell in love the way you fall asleep, slowly and then all at once. And that to me also connects with that metaphor of coming around Echo Summit, coming around the bend in Echo Summit. Because, you know, say the journey is from Sacramento to South Lake Tahoe. That's like a two some odd hour journey. And so, yeah, you're like an hour and 45 minutes into that journey by the time you come around Echo Summit. So that part is the slowly, and then there is the one moment where you come around the bend. And so that can feel like it happened all at once. But the truth is there was an hour and 45 minutes of driving that led up to that. So yeah, I feel like Spirit is saying, don't feel like you're not making progress if this doesn't happen just in the blink of an eye. And then with this hacksaw, so I'm getting the energy of like a DIY project. Hacksaws are, you know, you can make something with a hacksaw and you don't have to have all this knowledge of power tools. You don't have to have, you know, there's a lot you can do with the hacksaw without having to have a lot of knowledge or equipment. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you can start this as like the bare minimum est. That's not a word, but whatever, you get what I mean. You can start with just a hacksaw. Like, you don't have to be like, okay, let me spend thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours setting the scene perfectly for the, you know, home renovation project of my soul. Like, you can start doing small projects with just a hacksaw. You can get going right away with just the tools that you have at hand. So yeah, that is what I am getting for you, pile 3. Yeah, I mean, one thing that I will say that it's not even channeling, and I don't even feel like compelled to say it, but I just feel like I want to, basically, is that you are worth a lot more than what you've been getting. I just feel that very strongly, and I feel like you need to know that. I feel like that's something you need to hear. Yeah, I feel like the fact that I did feel compelled to say, this is just me telling you this is not channeling, is like, maybe you need to hear that from a person and not from a tarot reading. So this is from me, Melanie, to you, pile 3. You are worth so much fucking more than what you have been getting lately. And I hope that you have that moment of realization to understand that, because it is 100% true. So, yes, that is what I have for you. I hope that it resonated in a way that brought you some clarity, some insight, some food for thought. And I am going to end by letting you know that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye. Hello, so let's take a look at the decks that were used in today's reading. All of the new decks that I got in my mailbox when I went. It was a very good day. So the first 2 that I'm going to point out are 2 decks that I got from the same Etsy shop, and I actually have more of her decks as well. One of them I use all the time. It's called the California Love Oracle. But yeah, her decks are just really good. They're all pocket sized. They're on this like fairly thin cardstock that is so easy to shuffle, and it's really, really nice. So yeah, if you are looking for pocket sized travel decks particularly, I would definitely check out Fairy World 381 on Etsy. Really, really good decks. So this one's called the Sexy Oracle, and it's actually in the same format as another deck that she has called the Naughty Oracle. So now that I've used it, I wanted to keep just the Sexy Oracle aside and fresh for this like new energy reading, but now I'm going to mix it in with the other oracles. So yeah, that's this one. And it is called the Sexy Oracle. It's by Fairy World 381. Okay, then the other Fairy World 381 deck that I got is this affirmations deck. It's Divine Feminine Affirmations. Okay. Okay, then this deck is called the Objective Oracle. And I think it's kind of a play on words because it's objects, but then also objectives like energies or goals. So yeah, and this was a deck that I backed on Kickstarter. So I don't think that it is still available. I think she does limited runs, but yeah, in the links, I've linked to her Instagram. So if you wanted to follow and see if she was going to do another run of that deck. Okay, and then we have, alrighty, this. So I have to say, this artist is one of my favorite Oracle deck artists. She does Soul Trees Ascension, Soul Seed are the 3 full-size Oracle decks of hers that I have. But then this is the first pocket deck that I have of hers. So this is the one that is traveling with me. And I was very excited when she put out a pocket deck because it's like, yes, I have to bring one of her decks with me. So yeah, Soul Trees art is the Etsy store. And yeah, I love it. And it's called the Dreamer's Oracle. Okay, so now let's get into the tarot decks. So the 2 tarot decks that I use, so this one is called the 78 Animals Oracle. And so 78 Tarot is this collective that does, puts out tarot decks, and each of the cards is created by a different artist. So there are 78 different artists that contributed to this deck. And they've done like environmental, I think is one of them. Animals is the only one that I have, 78 Animals Tarot. But Magic, 78 Tarot Magic deck and Oracle, the Kickstarter just closed. So that one I will have eventually. And those are both pocket sized too. I'm pretty much limiting myself to just getting pocket sized oracles now because regular sized oracles and tarot decks are not the most useful for me because they're difficult to travel with. But yeah, there's so many beautiful decks out there. It's so hard. But at any rate, this is a gorgeous deck. So this is the 78 Animals Tarot. And yeah, I really love also that each of the artists, they put the name of the artist in with the name of the card. So you don't have to go look it up in the book or anything like that. The name of the artist, they are credited for their hard work right on the card. And I love that. Okay, and then the second deck that I used, the one that I used for clarification, is the Intuit Tarot Mini. So yeah, there is a full-sized deck of this that has, I believe, more writing on it. I haven't seen it in person, but I've seen it on channels, and I think that there's more writing that kind of lets you know things about the cards. Like, I think that this would be a really good beginner deck, especially the full-size one, because I think that there is actually like written out more information. There's just not space on the mini, obviously. Like, look, it's like the size of your palm. But I love it as a mini deck because it's really easy to use for reversals, even though I don't love reversals. Like, I check in with my intuition on each card to see if it's meant to be reversed. But if you are just learning reversals, which a lot of people are in that position, like, it will tell you justice, fairness, and balance. And then if it comes out in the reverse, guilt and blame. And there are also like some really interesting interpretations on here, like interpretations of energies that you just don't necessarily always see it phrased that way, like 10 of Swords, which I would read mostly, I mean, obviously it's always depending on the context of the cards that come out around it, but I would read that as like the ultimate betrayal, the ultimate heartbreak. This says the final chapter, and I'm like, oh, that's an interesting twist on it, because yeah, there are just like some additional connotations that you could really take from that. And yeah, so there are just, and Queen of Wands, stylish trendsetter. Whereas I would have said like, she's magical. She's a master manifester. But I'm like, yes, absolutely stylish trendsetter. She's the sexiest card in the deck. People look up to her. She's like, men want to be with her. Women want to be her. Like, yeah, absolutely stylish trendsetter. So yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. So yes, those are the decks, and you can definitely take a look on the decks page on the website for links where to pick them up if you are interested in adding them to your collection. Okay, bye.